It lets you know that these scriptures is nothing more true than the Most High's word, man. So we're gonna go ahead and get into Luke 12, 21 and 12. Flip to this real quick. Slack Israel. Luke 21 and 12. But therefore all these, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, deliver you up unto synagogues and into prisons, be brought out before kings and rulers of for my name's sake. So it lets you know we're going to be persecuted and for the name of Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai. We're going to be delivered up to the synagogues and to prisons. And that's, but some, if you read the scriptures, man, that's some of y'all's going to be your family, man. Diming y'all out. Soon as Esau and the cops knock on the door, they get to looking. Hey, we seen you on Facebook. You know what I mean? You hugged up with an Israelite. You know, we know, we seen you at the camps. We know you go to class. Where they at? And they gonna press them cats and they gonna give you up. They gonna dime you out. It's gonna be your family and friends, man. The ones you thought was loyal to the end, that just didn't want to come to the truth, but they supported you. They're gonna be the first ones to dime you out, man. Watch what I tell you. And it's not even what I say, it's what the scriptures say, man. It's thus saith the Lord. And it says, and ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. That's verse 17. So it just lets you know what you're going to be going through, man. That's in the book of Luke. Also shedding light on how people going to be, how we going to be diming you out in the last days. Let's see. So we know when that does happen and we go through those troubles, what do? We go back to the beginning of the lesson. We call on the name of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and he will deliver us and guide our steps. As long as we follow these law, statutes, and commandments, he's going to deal with us. And that's what it comes to, as long as you're Ayash Allah, of course. There's a little something of what not to do in these last time, because before that, what the elite know this, man. They know the scriptures. That's how they keep us in sin. That's how they keep the children of Yasha from keeping the commandments of the Most High. They know a brother might grow out his beard. He might, you know what I mean, do this and that as far as keeping the commandments, but then they'll slip some pork in there. You know what I mean? Or they'll have you hugged up with another nation, or whatever the case may be. Would they know the scriptures well enough to keep you going off that way? You're disconnected from the Most High and your true power, Yahweh, thy power. So that's what they do, man. They know that. That's why you got to know just as much as you know their history and everything that they taught you. You got to know your own, because once you know your own history, it equips you to deal with other nations and other people and your own people and your family and your finances. Man, you know, how is amazing, bro. He gave us this book for everything. So go to Matthew 24 and 21 through 28. Matthew 24. 24 Slakia. I got so many notes on here. I tried to keep 24, 21, and 8. Come on. All right, start at verse 21. For then shall be great tribulation, such was not since in the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be shortened, there should be no flesh to be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. Then if any man shall say unto you, Lo, here is Christ, or there, believe it not. For there shall be arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall show great signs and wonders, insomuch that it were possible they shall deceive even the elect. Behold, I have told you before. Therefore, if thou shalt say unto you, Behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Behold, he is in the secret chambers, believe it not. For as the lightning come out of the east, and shineth unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. For whatsoever... Oh, so that's it. That's it on that. So basically it's saying in the last time, right about now, is when, I don't know if y'all too into like, you know, what y'all read into or whatever, but if you know anything about Project Bluebeam, or even to a more, I'm gonna bring it full circle. They got this thing called Project Bluebeam where they're able to, with high powered lasers and some other, you know what I mean, smoke and mirrors or whatever, make imagery pop up in the sky. Now they can they can test it out. They've tested it out with like little lasers and trailing dots and trailing lights and stuff like that. They tested it out and people freaked out and didn't know what was happening. And you know what I mean, just to test out, just to see what people would do. And before that, they perfected the actual precision of the imagery with these holograms. I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of that. When they had the Tupac concert, and I think Snoop Dogg was on the stage with him, and it was performing, and everyone's like, "Oh man, it looked just like Tupac." And then so on. Shortly, they start doing these different concerts with these different celebrities when the celebrities weren't there, but they had a hologram of them. So I coupled that together with two different instances in 2 different years being separated by a couple years apart at the very least, as far as when I found out about them. I coupled that together and got to thinking, okay, if the scriptures say, because I'm knowing this, if the scriptures say they're going to deceive everybody and there's going to be false Christs and false messiahs, what would be better for them to have a false cracking of the sky, put a false image of Christ in the air, and have everyone go off to a certain place to be beheaded, or, you know what I mean, just gathered together or whatever, you know what I mean, just to be deceived, just as the scriptures say. So much so that even if it were possible that the elect would be deceived. Just think about that. And that's where I was, you know what I'm saying? And do with their technology and what the scriptures say and the prophecy and how things are unfolding in the news, I don't think that that's too far off to say that. If not, they're gonna come with some similar form of fashion. You see, they come in with the RFID chips, you know what I mean, where they're putting it into people. And now and if you go even more so, you go overseas, they have cashless societies, but that is also what is the word I'm looking for? It's based off of your social interactions. There you go. So if you're like cutting people off in traffic, cussing people out in the grocery store, you're just an overall jerk. Just like, I don't know if any of y'all seen it. It's called Dive or something like that on Netflix. Check it out, man, because it's coming to life. It is a real thing. Check it out. It's on Netflix. I think it's called Drive on the Black Mirror series, where it's where your social interactions with people affect your overall credit score. And that ultimately affects what kind of schools and hospitals and even jobs you can get and certain like that. It's a real thing, man. They played out on Netflix probably a year and a half, 2 years back or whatever. And sure enough, like Korea, Asia, one of the Moab-ass countries, they got it going on in full effect, man. No cash, all card, and your interactions with people and stuff like that affect your social status more to a lesser extent. No, it's exactly what it is actually. And so all these things that they're subliminally putting in our face, in our shows, and in different ways, they're testing us to see how we're going to react to these things. And when y'all just subscribe to the Netflix and watch it, you know what I'm saying? I watched it too, but I watched it knowing what was going on. You can't just blindly watch things and get sucked into these things, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. And that's what the scriptures is telling you. There's going to be false messiahs and false Christs. They're going to use these different mechanisms and different devices to further indoctrinate and to further lead the sheep astray. And that is that's their job, is to lead us furthest away from the Most High as they can, so they can stay and rule. But at this time, there's going to be them just fighting for the sake of fighting for their own vain ass pride. That's it, man. Because they're going to be taken to the valley of Jehoshaphat, as the scriptures say, and it's going to be the final battle. You know what I'm saying? And after that, they all going to go to slavery. The ones that do survive, and then after that, more so, they're going to serve under us for 1,000 years, and the Edomites will be utterly exterminated. Thus saith the Lord, not Tazah. We're going to go to, so that's basically the what not to do. Don't believe people when they say, hey, they say Yahweh or Jesus is going to be over here at 7:30. We should go over there. That's a secret meeting where all his people that, none of that, bro. None of that. The scriptures say, for that, slack it, let me find it. 27. For as lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. So it's not going to be any guess if it's when it's Yahweh Shah HaMashiach coming back. There's not going to be any. Is that? I'm not sure. Is that? It's not going to be like that. You gonna know without a shadow of a doubt who it is. Everyone's gonna know. Everyone. It's not gonna be. That's what that means, man. That's what that's breaking down. For 27. For as lightning cometh out of the east and shineth even unto the west. So that means from one side of the earth to the other side of the earth, everyone is gonna see Yahweh Shai HaMashiach when he comes back. So don't believe them when they go, when they say, what did he say in 26? Wherefore if they shall say unto you, behold, he is in the desert, go not forth. Don't go to the desert. Don't follow them when they run off and say, oh, he's over here. We need to go over here to this meeting place. Behold, he is in the secret chambers. Believe it not. Don't believe it when they say, oh, we got to go in here in order to. None of that, bro. You got listen to these scriptures. Dive into these scriptures, then they're going to guide you perfectly. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai will guide you perfectly through these troubles, Israel. Let's see. We got Isaiah 33 and 6 next. Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. So the fear of Yahweh is our treasure, because the fear of the Lord is where wisdom begins. Let me see, where is that at? That's Job 28:28. Fear of the Lord is wisdom. Job 28:28. So that's our treasure. So the wisdom of the Lord is our treasure, and we get that wisdom from this book. It says, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. So that this wisdom is going to be the strength of our salvation, not nothing else. You can't depend on anything else. You can't lean on anything else. Only the scriptures, right? Because it is the word of God. Not some Pastor Pork Chop who done cooked up how he's going to get y'all out of extra $100 this week. This is going to go to Isaiah 26 and 3. This is Isaiah 26 and 3. Thou wilt kept him in perfect peace, whom mine is stayed on thee, because he trusted in thee. So you stay on these law, statutes, and commandments, you're going to be at peace. When all this stuff is kicking off, you know what I'm saying? If it be the Most High's will, you're going to be one of those brothers at peace, watching everything go down. That's what I hope for. That's why I'm out here grinding, trying to wake up my people, doing the work, trying to gather, trying to store treasures in heaven, trying to get this wisdom. That's our treasure. You know what I'm saying? That's why I try to stay in these books as much as I can. We'll go ahead to go to Job, since we was on Job. That got that little precept out of 28:28. Job 5 and 12. Job 5 and 12. He disappointed the devices of the crafty, so that their hands cannot form their enterprises. So Yahweh is stopping all of that. All the stuff that they think they're going to bring against the children of Israel, or this space force or whatever, to think that they're going to build and try to go against Yahweh Shai and chariots when they come back, not going to happen. Thus saith the Lord. So we're going to, and we'll be delivered from our tribulation. I'm going to go down to 20, actually. Job 5 and 20 says, in famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. So that lets you know right there, we'll be redeemed from famine. We won't be worried about what we're going to eat and stuff like that. Through the power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, he's going to show us different things we're going to eat. You got to look back in the books. He sent manna from heaven to our ancestors when they were wandering in the wilderness. Made water come out of rocks. You have to believe these things. You have to know that every single time our ancestors were in any tumultuous situation, any grave dangerous situation, when they solely believed on the Most High and called upon Him, He delivered. Every time He delivered. And every time we didn't hearken unto His voice or His word, He delivered on the punishment he told Israel he was going to give us as well. So he's a man of his word every single time. So he's letting you know when this stuff kicks off, you trust in me, you follow me, you call upon me, and I will deliver you. You won't taste famine, you won't taste the sword. But you have to believe and follow on Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai. Let's see. Isaiah 65:13. We'll go to that real quick. 65:13. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servants shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servants shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servants shall rejoice, but ye shall be ashamed. That's self-explanatory. I don't really even have to break that down. Once you become a servant of the Most High, which we all are as children of Yasha Allah, we're married to the Most High, and we are the servants of the Most High. So he's letting you know, once you call upon him and you're faithful and you trust in him and you're guided by him and not your own understanding, when these things kick off, you're going to be one eating. You're going to be the one drinking. You're going to be one rejoicing. While the other nations are in turmoil and getting utterly exterminated, you're going to be kicking back, chilling, like the queen and king that you are. Thus saith the Lord, man. Isn't that's the good tidings? That's the good news to Yasha Allah. That amongst all of this nonsense that we've been going through for ages, for all these captivities we went to, Babylonian, Assyrian, Persians and the Medes, who else? Here, all throughout the Islam, the Islamic slave trade, everything, bro. All of that we've been through. The good news is we're going to be kicked up, chilling, laid back, drinking lemonade, watching the other nations getting a payback. And then we get to live in the kingdom and rule as kings and queens forever after that. That's good news, man. That's the good tidings that Yahweh Shai was preaching when he walked the earth. And they hung him for it. So we're going to go ahead and get into 2nd Ezra's 1:17. We're going to go into a little backstory of how I was saying earlier, when you got to trust and draw upon those stories when the Most High was there for our ancestors. Because we're the descendants of our ancestors. If not, we are the same people. You know what I mean? There's no remembrance of persons. But, you know what I mean? It says the generation that was there when Christ was there is going to be the same generation when he comes back. So I'll let you figure that out. This is a book of Ezra's, 2nd Ezra's 1:17. Slack it. Let me flip to this real quick. 1:17. Where are the benefits that I have done for you? Where ye were hungry and thirsty in the wilderness, did ye not cry out unto me, saying, why have thus brought us into the wilderness to kill us? It had been better for us to have served the Egyptians than to die in the wilderness. So these are the murmurers, and the Most High still showed them mercy. So if you're following the law, statutes, and commandments, and you're faithfully obeying the Most High and doing what you're supposed to do, he's going to look out for you just like he looked out for them, even though they were talking against him, saying, oh, we should have just stayed back with the Egyptians, man. The Most High brought us out here to kill us. You think he destroyed Pharaoh, parted the sea, brought all those plagues on Egypt to bring you into the wilderness to kill you? But that's the mindset of our people, man. That's what we was going through. The same thing back then is the same thing now, man. Keep reading. It says, Then I had pity upon your murmurings. So the Most High still had pity upon the murmurings, even though if he did end up smashing some of the or killing some of the murmurers in the wilderness. But this is before that. It says, I gave you manna to eat, so ye did eat angels' bread. We got the same food that the angels got. So this is what the Most High is doing for his children. The children of Yasha Allah. This is what he's doing for us. So you have to draw back on this story when all hell breaks loose. Literally, when all hell breaks loose and Jacob's trouble is popping off, you have to remember, yo, I can't be worried about what I'm going to eat because the Most High literally supplied angels' bread for our ancestors in the wilderness. I know he'll do the same for me. I'm just going to trust in him. You know what I mean? I'm just going to pray. I'm trusting him and not do, you know what I mean, get caught up in what's going on. That's what you do, man. It says, when ye were thirsty, did I not cleave the rock, and waters flowed out to your fill? For the heat I covered you with the leaves of the trees. They didn't even have to be hot. That's how much the Most High loves his children. They didn't even have to be hot. And if you know the story, if you go into it, when they were in a wilderness, they were led by chariots by night so they can see. The Most High loves his children with a dear passion, man. He does. But we have to be obedient. We have to listen to these laws, statutes, and commandments and apply and do them. Not halfway, not some way, all the way, man. We have to. Now, some things there are grace on that we cannot do. Other things, where there is no law, there is no sin. But the law still applies and will endure throughout. As long as the earth and heavens are here, the law will abide. And that's what the scriptures say. We're going to go to 2 Ezra 16, 1 through 8. Actually, no. I'm going to go to 2 Ezra 16. Second Ezra's 16. Here we go. I'm just gonna skip through this. My notes end on the 39th verse. I'm just gonna go to about 4 of these, get to a couple more. This 16. I'm gonna go ahead and read 16 first. Chapter 16. Woe be unto Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. Verse 2. Gird up yourselves with cloth of sack and hair, bewail your children, and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. So when they see all that, when Jacob's trouble kicks off, they're not gonna be spared either. It's gonna come to the children of Yasha'Allah, the 2/3 first, but then they're gonna get theirs. Their destruction is at hand. That's why I went to that Zechariah 14 and 12. And when the man was walking across the White House lawn, that's a sign to them, letting them know that their time is up. You know what I mean? They know just as well as we do. They know 2 Ezra 6 and 9 that Esau is the end and Jacob. Esau is the end and Jacob is the start. They know that. So when they see stuff like that happen, they're getting more bullets, getting more clips, getting more vests, because they know it's that much closer. But guess what? So do we. We know that too. And what my Darak Abar say? He said, they got guns with them. We got angels. We a bigger threat, and they know that too, man. But they still gonna fight because that's the pride of Esau. That's the pride of Esau, man. He's still gonna fight. And this goes to I'm gonna jump down to 12 real quick. Slacky. I'm gonna go to 8. It says, the mighty Lord sendeth plagues, and who is he that can drive them away? So that means when the Most High sends these plagues, it's like scriptures say, when he sends these plagues, it's like a skilled archer that shoots the arrow. Now, when that archer shoots the arrow, is it gonna go for a little bit, go through some people, kill the deer, you know what I mean, and then the arrow's gonna return after it's done a little bit of damage? No, that arrow is gonna be permanently cemented in whatever it's in, whether it's a tree, a deer, an antelope, whatever. Once it's sent, it's sent. It ain't no coming back. And that's what the Most High is saying about these plagues. He said, who is he that can drive them away? There's nobody. That's a rhetorical question. Nobody can undo what the Most High is doing. Once he sends those plagues, it's a wrap. You can't get away from them. I'm jumping down to 12. What are those plagues? Yeah, let's see. It says, the earth quaketh, and the foundations thereof. The sea ariseth up in waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also, before the Lord and before the glory of his power. So we had about at least 4 days, a good 3 or 4 days that I felt personally, where we had earthquakes.